Always ready.
Hello, my little chickens. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Rich Voss is here with me.
He's still alive, right?
Rich Voss? Yeah. I think so.
Did you ever have him on? I feel like...
Rich Voss?
Yeah.
I've met him a bunch of times.
Yeah. I feel like he would fit in perfectly with, like, the... what was the name of your Friday night show? The Meltdown?
Free-for-all?
The Free-for-all?
Meltdown? Yeah, sometimes it was Coco's Meltdown.
Did he melt down? Did he have a meltdown?
Not almost this week.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's like, you know, all these years, you're still bullying me on the air. I'm like, oh my God, it's not bullying, it's a radio show.
Were you like, I bully you off the air as well?
Oh yeah, he really bothered me.
Every time you see him, you give him like the dick tap.
Little. Get
that thing out of here.
Little scoongeel. All right, hey everybody. Let's get this going. Let's tweet out that we're live.
Put some Adam Cole and some Star Wars. Watch.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
I believe you.
Disney's gonna buy WWE, and you're gonna see fucking Tommaso.
How much are they gonna buy it for?
$7 billion.
They made gross last year. They made almost $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So it would probably be worth like $10 billion.
Sure, Disney's got it.
What do you do then? What does Vince do? $10 billion. How many more billions do you need?
You put Tommaso Ciampa in a fucking X-Men movie.
Yeah. Who would he? What would be his character? You make one up?
Beast.
Who would Johnny Gargano be? Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler's good.
Yeah.
All right.
I see Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I always thought Nightcrawler was an Indian man.
Really?
Growing up, yeah. When I was a kid, I thought he was Indian.
Okay.
I don't know why. And when I finally discovered that he's German, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
It like shattered what I had.
Your perception
of Nightcrawler. Yeah.
He keeps eating strudel. I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why would I think he's Indian?
Bobby Lashley as Colossus. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Bobby Lashley is Beast, dude. Hank McCoy.
There you go.
Bobby Lashley is Hank McCoy. I love it.
If we're gonna cast the X-Men movie with wrestlers, you have plenty of you have depth in that roster. You know, I'd make Adam Cole Cyclops.
All right, do you guys want us to do a what if again this week? Because people really enjoyed it. I got a lot of feedback over last week's. Yeah. So why don't you guys give us a what if, and we'll go with it live. We'll shoot style. We won't plan anything.
We match today.
We do match. Look at us.
Little purple babies.
We're babes.
Look at those purple babies.
There we go. I can still do the peck dance. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
I'm ready.
All right. We'll begin in 3, 2, and 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mat Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Angel Zarian. I'm joined by my Nightcrawler, Rich Stambolian.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. We went on this, I guess, like a 5-minute rant before the show started on which WWE wrestler would be an X-Men character. And we decided that who's Nightcrawler?
Johnny Gargano.
Johnny Gargano's Nightcrawler, but he's Indian in this version.
Because you thought you grew up thinking Nightcrawler was Indian.
I grew up thinking Nightcrawler was Indian.
This makes me question your literacy.
I don't know why. Like I'm talking like I was like a 5-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Not like cool. I was like 20 and I'm like, what?
Like it was last week.
Hulk Hogan would be Magneto.
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be Magneto.
Oh, brother. How's your reggae today?
My reggae's over 10 today.
Greatest email of all time.
10.6.
So we got a lot to talk about today.
We do have a lot to talk about. A ton of news this week.
A lot of wrestling.
I had a very interesting conversation with a writer at WWE this week. What day was it? Wednesday? No.
When you were
Tuesday.
Texting me all this stuff?
Yeah,
I think it was Tuesday.
Tuesday. They reached out to me and they're like, hey, fan of the show, I think you guys should know some of this. So it's interesting when you could kind of tell which writer is a wrestling fan and that's kind of involved in wrestling, and then which ones are like Hollywood guys that are hired. I'm not saying this is that guy, but it's interesting. You can kind of tell with the information they tell you and how they tell you it.
It's just a job.
To some people, it's just a job. I'm not saying that this is the story with this guy, but a lot of times we're approached by these guys and they're like, hey, I just want to give you a scoop. And I'll sit on. I mean, you and I have known about a lot of stuff, and we just sit on it.
Yeah.
We just write it down on paper, and we just sit on it.
Physically
sitting on it. So I was told a couple of things by this guy, and I'm like, listen, what can I say? What can I not? I don't want to get him in trouble. He's like, you can say everything except for this thing that I just told Rich.
Right.
Which I don't.
Absurd, by the way.
No,
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's not absurd.
Okay. So sorry, duck that out for you guys. Listen to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go down some of these things because they kind of fall in line with WrestleMania, but it's fascinating because you kind of get a view at how WWE starts an idea and how they finish it, which I found to be the most fascinating thing. Also, I was told that many writers are kept in the dark.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Sometimes they're told storylines that are never going to happen,
right?
And just to kind of see like what they do and how they react. It's really a terrible place.
Well, you kind of get some of that from interviews with like Freddie Prinze Jr., who I thought was a really awesome addition to WWE when he was writing, and also on the Bruce Pritchard show where he talks about like sometimes there's just stuff that we plan that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. Like I mean, like with any TV show or any pitch room meeting. Like the guys, I feel like the guys who succeed at writing are the dudes who think long term. Like, remember when CM Punk was doing the Straight Edge Society?
Yeah.
And the whole story was that he showed up with basically a year's worth of storyline and gave it to Paul Heyman. And they were like, yo, forget it. Let's just like, this guy's awesome. I think if you do that in the company and say like, yo, this is my plan for these people for an entire year. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go down that throughout the show. I don't want to, which is I potted you up too much, and now I'm hearing myself.
Hello.
I'm gonna go down some of it midway through the show, but there is a lot of wrestling to talk about.
Whole lot of wrestling.
AEW was a decent show.
Ooh, Jefferson Cobberton debuted.
Jefferson Cobberton debuted. I like Jefferton. Is Jefferton a name?
It's Jefferton. Yeah, it's Jefferton. Not Jefferson, it's Jefferton.
Jefferton Cobberton.
The flat earther, Jefferton Cobberton.
Is he a flat earther? He is.
A flat earther.
Yeah. Well, he kind of like dabbles in it.
I'm going to make that earth flat.
That's
his theme song.
He debuted in AEW. He's not signed to a contract as far as we know, but he apparently is going to be doing a lot of Japan stuff, and he's all over the place. So that's a great addition for them. I actually was surprised.
That they blew his
that's how they did it.
Yeah.
I was surprised that they did it that way. I was told it's him. Obviously, it's him. It's Luke Harper and Lance Archer. Those are the big three names that are going to be going to AEW, and they're literally big guys.
You know what? First of all, I'm not a flat earther. I'm a fat earther.
Fat earther.
Number two,
you think the Earth's getting too wide?
It's getting too big.
Too girthy.
Too big. Need to get put on a diet, Earth. That beach bot Earth. Here's the thing with Luke Harper. So on this week's AEW, Mox took a gigantic beatdown from the Inner Circle. Right? Jefferson Cobberton comes out.
Yeah, kills him,
murders him,
sits on him,
does like the twirly thing on him. He looks like Roman Reigns. Is great.
He kind of does, yeah.
Looks a lot like Roman Reigns. Probably not related to any of those dudes. Here's the thing. So you have the Elite and the Dark Order. The Elite's a faction, right? You have like the best friends and like all that stuff. Nobody came out to help Mox, right?
Nobody.
Luke Harper.
That's a great. I didn't even think of that. That's perfect.
Yeah,
that's how I would do it. I would have Harper show up as a babyface.
Well, not Brody Lee, I guess.
Brody Lee.
Yeah, so like have Brody Lee.
Yeah, Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee shows up. Because like we've said this for years. Luke Harper and Dean Ambrose had great chemistry, and it was also the battle of the dirt people.
They are the dirt people.
So he needs another dirt person to be like his heavy, right?
Well, you know what I really want to see? You know how we had the battle of the Bam Bams in ECW?
Yeah.
Where Terry, Bam Bam Gordy, and Bam Bam Bigelow just ran the ropes for like 45 minutes back and forth on that commercial?
Yeah.
I want to have the battle of the Brodies, Brody King versus Brody Lee.
Love that.
I would love to see the battle of the Brodies. Jefferton Cobberton is going to become a thing. That is going to be a thing, guys.
Hashtag it.
So I think that's great to have him. Where do you put Lance Archer? He's another dirt person.
Is he another heavy that where like Mox could be like, yo, you got the Inner Circle, I got the Outer Rim?
That's actually great.
Or whatever.
No, I would love that. It's actually hysterical.
And he's got like the two big dudes.
Yeah.
You know?
That's his shield.
Yeah.
It's like the backwoods shield.
But then
like it.
instead of doing this thing, they do like kawaii stuff, like real like cute shit.
Really Japanese cutesy stuff. I love
like
it.
shit like that.
Harper doing a kung fu gimmick. That would be hilarious.
Ooh, I'd love to see that.
A kung fu gimmick from him. So I thought it was good. AEW was a good show. NXT was okay. Did you watch all of NXT?
No.
It was okay.
Honestly, that's the one thing I really didn't watch this
I'm going
week.
to tell you something, and this is going to be a very unpopular opinion. I think Matt Riddle should not speak.
Why?
I'm not. It does nothing for me.
I think there's a red dot on your head right now from Derek's sniper rifle.
You know what Derek was doing, right?
Oh, I don't want to know what
he was in the bathroom. He didn't want anybody in the family to know what was going on. He turns the shower on to have some noise going on, and he just heard this. Pants were down and everything. You just heard it, and now the sniper, he just has it pointing at my head. So
why?
I'm going to tell you, I think he's a phenomenal wrestler. I like him to be serious.
He's a stud, great athlete,
stud. I like a little bit of the personality, but he's corny.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
He is doing Triple H humor.
In what way?
You could tell that Hunter's very much involved in this. It's that juvenile humor that he's doing. If you think about it, it is exactly what they did with DX.
I kind of feel like,
but with stoner jokes. It is Billy Gunn and Hunter chuckling at their inside jokes. That's what it feels like to me.
You mean Road Dogg?
But
Road Dogg's one of the producers on NXT now.
I mean, listen, it's very much I could see that who has a hand in this. I don't hate it. I feel like it takes away from him as being the next, Kerry Von Erich or whatever they were saying he is.
I think if they tried to make him go serious, it wouldn't work because he's a real loose dude.
Yeah.
His whole thing is like, I'm a goof, but I can back it up with my fists.
Yeah, but why not just have it be that? He does like one or two things, and then that's it. I think they want to add, it's that philosophy that everybody needs to cut a promo, everybody has to have a catchphrase, everybody has to pose.
Everybody has to be funny.
Everybody has to be funny, even if you're not a funny character, you got to be funny.
Yeah.
There were moments that I'm like, I like this odd couple thing that they're doing with Pete Dunne, Kevin Dunn's son.
Yeah. That's good because Pete Dunne can stay in character because if you guys haven't seen any of those promos, they're great with the Broserweights, and it's just Pete Dunne
like the Bobby Fish can't fry fish stuff that they did.
Yeah, it's great.
I see. It did nothing for me. I was like, come on, they are catering. If I turn this on,
I think that's a weird Goodfellas joke too.
Bobby Fish could fry fish.
Yeah, fry fish.
Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean he fries fish? Paulie, he fries fish. I just felt that it takes away. If I'm going to sit here and really pick it apart, I kind of want him to be serious. I want the wrestlers to be serious.
All the time.
Not yeah, kind of.
Is that why you don't like Orange Cassidy?
I don't get it. Don't get it. But it's not for me. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
What makes it not? Is it too young? Is it too millennial for you?
It's too...
I ask you this every week.
I get that it's wrestling. I get that it's wrestling.
Yeah.
I get suspension of disbelief.
Sure.
But there's a line that I can't cross.
Do you like
it becomes stupid to me.
Do you like a Santino or a Colt Cabana better than an Orange Cassidy?
I like a Colt Cabana way better because Colt is self-aware almost.
Okay.
He's a comedy character. I get it. I don't understand the Orange Cassidy gimmick.
Do you like...
it makes no sense to me.
Do you like Grado better than Orange Cassidy?
I like...
Grado's pretty awesome.
I definitely like Grado more than Orange Cassidy. I don't know. I just feel like it's not for me. And I get it. It's for a 14-year-old, which is exactly the demo they need to grab.
I understand. I find Orange Cassidy hysterical. I love him. I go down this Orange Cassidy rabbit hole every so often. The other Jack Evans makes me very uncomfortable.
In general?
Just in general.
Just looking at him?
I tweeted that the other day, and a lot of people agreed with it. And it's not a knock on him. Obviously, the dude's very talented. But, just the way he comes out all gross.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like if him and Matthew McConaughey made twins. But
you know what? That's you're on with these.
Thank you.
I think I'm in love with you today.
Thank you.
I think I am.
Yeah.
I think I am.
But he's Danny DeVito? And McConaughey's the Schwarzenegger?
Listen, I've been following this whole Jim Cornette losing his mind saga, and him and Dave Meltzer are now fighting online.
You mean from the last 30 years?
No. Now it's gotten hyper aggressive, and this really comes down to it, right? And I see all the fans that are crapping on AEW, they're crapping on WWE. there's a great Undertaker story about Bret Hart going back and bitching about this and this and this, and Undertaker turns around, and I think Jim Cornette told the story, and he looks at Bret and he goes, "Mother effer, not everything is about you.
Right.
Not everything is about what you want. Not everything is for you.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
you're watching a 2-hour TV show. Not every match, not every win, not every loss is catering to you. There are different demos that they're trying to hit, and they're trying to do their best in 2 hours. This goes for every show. You could criticize WWE for all you want, but they have a good grip on having something for everybody. A little something for everybody. Is it executed perfectly? Definitely not, but their philosophy is it's there. Not everything is for you, nor should you accept or not accept. Disaccept. I like disaccept. Not. You should be able to say, you know what? That's fine. It's not for him, and I should be able to say that wasn't for me. It's like people get aggravated because I don't back. Like I said the Orange Cassidy thing on Twitter once, and on my personal one, and people are like, "What do you mean you don't get it?" I'm like, it doesn't do it for me. Well, why? It doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't do it for me. It's not catering towards me. I like a very different style of wrestling. I'm not a big high spot guy either. Yeah. But I'm also not a 45-minute chain wrestling guy. I like certain things and I don't like certain things. And people have a very difficult time grasping why you would like something that I don't.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. And it bothers me. That's the underlying thing. So people are very upset. Jim Cornette is like shitting on AEW.
You're bothered by people getting bothered.
I'm bothered by people getting bothered. I'm this week I was off Twitter.
Didn't it feel good?
We were talking about this. I'm going to go into a little bit. I'm not going to go into the whole discussion we had, but I watched wrestling very differently this week. AEW I watched in a bar.
Oh, nice.
Which it has become my thing, and it's so enjoyable to watch it at a bar. Because the people around me kind of get behind it.
And it's like, like get a couple of drinks and you get a little loose.
And then everybody's a little loose. It's fascinating. So my thing has been, I have my bars that I go to. Even if I'm in Manhattan, I was at Capitol Grill on Wednesday night.
Okay.
High-end steakhouse. I'm sitting at the bar.
You go to nicer places than I do.
I do go to nicer places, yeah. I'm at Capitol Grill on 42nd, and I know the bartender. I'm like, can you do me a favor? Can you put on TNT? He's like, yeah, what's on? Is there a game? I'm like, wrestling. He goes, perfect.
Wrestling? You just said wrestling?
Yeah, I just go wrestling. He goes, perfect. He puts it on. He goes, is that new thing? I was like, yeah. And then bunch of guys in their 40s. Everybody's talking to people. They just stopped. They started watching.
All started rubbing your back.
They all just started giving me a massage. All of them.
That's why you go to those high-end bars. It's like all older guys that just touching you.
Dude, they got into it. And that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
I was not on social media. I watched SmackDown last night. Not on social media. I watched Raw. Not on social media.
That's good. Good for you, man.
Then I went to Reddit this morning just for notes and stuff.
Your brain melted.
Oh man, it's overwhelming. The Nyla stuff.
Who cares?
Listen, dude. I don't want to get into it, but
don't get into it.
The argument that it's a man that transitioned into a woman and it's a disgrace to the sport of women's wrestling
sport of pro wrestling.
You can have your opinions, whatever. I don't want to go even near that. But that is the most illegitimate argument to have, considering we watch grown men pretend to fight
in their undies.
Right. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, people have their own. Listen, dude. So what? It was a one-time thing. It happened.
Yeah.
Now let's move on. Again, not everything is for you.
Right. I know.
You could not like that aspect of it and enjoy the rest.
I agree with that 100%. I think we live in a weird time where everybody thinks everything is catered to them and that everybody thinks their opinion matters. It doesn't. I got news for you. Your opinion doesn't matter. Just because you put it on social media and other people read it, doesn't fucking matter.
You know who has a good grip on stuff? Bob Hazelwood in our chat.
He's all right.
He's all right. He's all right.
He was one of those guys that was rubbing you, right?
He was rubbing me. He was. No, but Bob, here's a good. I mean, listen. Bob puts out a thing for the pay-per-views on Facebook, and he writes this whole story about why he thinks certain things would happen. But he's like respectful about it when he doesn't agree with you, and I think that's a good attitude to have.
Absolutely.
Listen, dude, it's a fucking TV show. I don't sit there and watch Scandal, then go and argue with people as to why they enjoyed Scandal this week's episode.
I think, but that's like you said before, and I'm going to touch on that. The WWE does a great job of their execution may be flawed, but it's definitely, hey, there's a little. It's like going to Coachella or going to like a big festival where you're like, you're not gonna like every band you see.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you watch any XFL last week?
I got really drunk on Sunday, and my wife changed the channel for 2 seconds, and she said, "Is this a thing again?"
I got to tell you, I went to the bars yesterday.
The
bars on Saturday last week.
Where did you go?
I went to Bourbon. That's my new place.
Really?
Bourbon Street is my new place.
On the rooftop too?
No.
Like
just
cold
inside.
rooftop.
I just walk up to the roof, just stare at the abyss.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting to see every bar had people watching.
Okay.
They were watching the XFL. A lot of people were, and I think something that the WWE Alpha Entertainment missed out on with the XFL is that they did not do a lot of partnerships with bars.
Right.
I would have anticipated that every bar in the city would have had big XFL posters and come watch the game and had giveaways and stuff like that. They didn't do that. I wrote them an email.
You wrote the XFL?
I wrote the XFL an email.
Mr. XFL at XFL.com?
Yeah, I wrote their PR company, their PR division an email. I was like, listen, just observing in New York, there was a lot of interest in this on a Saturday in New York. It's kind of cold. It's after the Super Bowl. People were into this. And there was a lot of discussion over the rules. The ratings were good. Solid ratings. 17,000 people in attendance at the games. I think he may have something here.
Yeah.
It's too early, but it was decent football. Really good football. The New York quarterback is really good. He's probably the best quarterback in New York now. I can't believe that the XFL Guardian, the New York Guardians, are the best football team in New York.
You want to hear my dirty secret?
Yeah, give me.
I'm not a football guy.
I'm not either. I'm not that big of a football guy.
I'm not even going to attempt to try to talk football with anybody.
I know. It's fine. I'm not a huge football guy. I watch it when I watch it, but like I'll watch the Super Bowl, I'll watch important games. But I'm a baseball guy.
Yeah.
I'll watch some basketball. I like hockey. I'm not a football dude. I really enjoyed this game. The little rule changes are cool. Like they do this, they do multiple passes before the line of scrimmage. The kicking rules are different. I thought it was interesting. I think they have something decent. You know what this is? It's the opposite of WWE, right? WWE's the big jacked up dudes in the 80s, and the NWA was like the workers.
Yeah.
It almost is like that. These guys are really good football players. They're just smaller.
Okay, that's
like
fine.
The defensive line is small, the quarterback's smaller, everybody's a little smaller.
And they can do touchdown dances, right?
One guy did the Randy Orton pose.
Okay.
The other one took his dick out.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see.
Yeah. So
how's your Valentine's Day?
Mine?
Speaking of dicks out.
We both passed out, dude.
Nice.
I took a pot gummy, pot caramel that our friend Brian made.
Nice.
And
I gotta hit him up for one of those.
Dude, we ordered Chinese food.
Yeah.
And we just chilled.
No, there's a moratorium on Chinese food in my taste buds.
Is there?
It's for like the past I want to say 6 months.
Not doing it.
No more Chinese food for this guy.
Did you have a bad incident?
Nope. Just done.
Did you get hurt by Chinese food?
No, I reached my limit. You know,
did?
you reach your mental limit.
Bro, you're full.
I'm done. I'm done with Chinese food for quite a while now. You know?
You know what I love about the show? That we could just have this little chit chat and people enjoy it.
It's nice. And then we can high five
like this.
And it looks like we got one arm.
It's great.
So
let's go into some stuff. NXT Portland is tomorrow.
Yeah, baby. I got the card right here.
Let's go down the card, Rich, and then do our predictions. I may do a watch along tomorrow.
Cool.
It depends how my evening goes tonight with my wife, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I'm talking about this thing?
I'm talking about this.
But oh, no.
Yeah. No, I think we're going to hang out tonight. So if our schedules work, because she's around, she's going to be doing stuff. If our schedules work, we're going to hang out today, and I'll have my evening tomorrow to do a watch along. If not, then I don't know what I'm doing.
That was your butthole, by the way, and this was a shampoo bottle.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, that's how it works. Isn't that how babies are made? I love you guys in the chat room that tolerate our dick jokes. Freaking great. Talk about juvenile humor.
So anyway, unapologetic dick jokes too.
Yeah.
I hate these dudes that go on Twitch and they make a dick joke and then they apologize the next day and they're like, "I'm sorry if I offended anybody with my phallic humor."
Ugh.
Yeah. Anyway, Rhea Ripley, the champion, NXT Women's Championship. They really went back on calling it just the NXT Championship.
What are they calling now?
The Women's Championship.
They're not calling it the NXT Championship?
No, they retracted that somehow, right? Versus Bianca Belair. Charlotte Flair
has to be involved.
Interrupts this.
You know what I would do? I would have Charlotte cost Bianca Belair the title.
Right.
because she wants to beat Rhea Ripley for the title
at WrestleMania.
So now you created something with Bianca. Bianca's getting hot right now.
Yes.
And she is tremendously improved. A year ago when we were talking about Bianca Belair, my thing was she has the look, she's athletic, she's great, total package. She just needs to get better. She has.
This is amazing too, and like all these women are so talented. Bianca Belair has gotten so great. Charlotte Flair's like already like a future Hall of Famer. Forget it, Rhea Ripley too, like she's awesome, huge upside. Man, like 20 years ago, right? Remember when women used to wrestle?
It is NXT Women's Championship. You are 100% correct. I think they realize how stupid that sounds.
Remember 20 years ago when women stopped wrestling, and then people were like, "Ooh, I wonder if she's gonna show up on Vivid Video."
Oh my God, yeah. Wrestling got weird, man.
That was a thing, right?
That was
like,
a thing.
Who's gonna pay so and so to be in this weird pornography?
That's stolen, technically.
Mm-hmm. If you fired yourself from this podcast and then Vivid Video offered you a pornographic contract, would you take it?
Yes.
But it was only LPs.
How much?
It was only LPs.
Only LPs? I'm okay with that. Do you know I've had dinner with him, the owner of Vivid Videos?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Him and Savannah Sampson. I had dinner with at Sapphire. Yeah. Years ago.
Finn Balor versus
such a normal guy. We spoke about his kids.
Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano.
Cool, great match. I'm excited for this.
The Irish versus the Italians.
What do you take?
I'm going Finn.
It's the 1920s in New York again?
Yeah, I'm going Finn. This is Gangs in New York. I'm going Finn Balor.
Okay.
But I think he's going to come out as like an insane clown posse person.
A juggalo?
That's what they're called, right?
Who benefits and where do you go from here, right? Because Gargano's cooled off a little bit.
Yeah.
They screwed him up with that weird heel turn.
Yeah, and then the injury.
I think they made a little bit of a mistake with him. They shouldn't have turned him here. I understood the whole story that he just lost his mind to get that title, but it didn't execute. Like, it didn't tell a good story with him. Balor is going to be there till at least SummerSlam, so this is the moment to do something with him. Do you put the title on him after this? I don't know.
I wouldn't mind seeing Balor another run with the title.
Okay, I'm cool with that. What would that be? 3-time champion?
3-time champion. Yeah.
If he gets it, so if Balor wins, and then he faces whoever the winner of the world title match is.
Listen, Balor being there is totally doing them a favor, right?
Dude, this roster looks so good.
Good roster.
I honestly though, you could rag on AEW and NXT and all that, but this is for a roster that they lost these guys like Ricochet, they lost, and they lost all of those dudes. Aleister Black, they lost.
Right.
This is a
Street Profits.
Street Profits. Yeah. This is a very strong roster. They do a very good job at taking somebody, keeping him like in the back burner.
Yep.
And then be like, okay, now it's your chance. And then it feels normal. It doesn't feel like it was pushed. Like Keith Lee.
Yeah.
He's 100%. Been there for how long?
Yeah.
All right, go down the card.
Tino Sabatelli. The Undisputed Era versus the Broserweights for the NXT Tag Team Championships. I think the Broserweights are taking it. My one thing is I could definitely see Pete Dunne turning on Matt Riddle.
That's what I want to see. I want to see Pete Dunne turn on him that he's sick of his shit already.
Because I like Pete Dunne as a heel.
People were body shaming Bobby Fish.
We'll get out of here.
Because he got a little thicker.
Stupid.
The guy's been hurt and he's 40.
You know what's funny? Let's say, like, imagine if somebody tried to body shame like Big Boss Man or like like 30 years ago. Like you'd get your jaw broken, right?
I think they would punch you right in the mouth.
Yeah, kayfabe, right? You have to like kayfabe beat up the fans, or like good example, Bubba Dudley. You don't see anybody body shaming this dude.
I would love to see someone do that. So who do you say take this?
I'm gonna say if Pete Dunne doesn't turn, I'm gonna say the Broserweights, but I do feel like Pete Dunne's gonna turn.
I'm gonna go with Undisputed.
Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa, another fine Italian fella, for the NXT Championship. I'm gonna say Cole retains.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for this one.
I think that's going to be a show stealer. Every match on this card, it has the potential to be like really amazing.
How many matches on this card?
Six.
A lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's gonna be like a 2.5-hour show.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I'm surprised that we don't have Velveteen on this.
He'll probably show up at some point. Do a
Velveteen
promo.
and Roddy.
Velveteen
Isn't
and
that
Roddy would
weird?
be
We
cool.
don't have that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox. This is the one where I'm kind of like, I don't really
In
care.
a street fight.
In a street fight.
So I think they've done a very bad job at making this important.
I agree with that.
Unless you're like a really like NXT diehard.
Yeah. Because this story carries over from War Games.
It does, but this is like the whole story that they're friends and they're this. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
I'm gonna go with Tegan Nox.
Okay, you're gonna go with Tegan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Keith Lee, the holder of the NXT North American Championship, versus Dominik Dijakovic.
Two big guys.
Two big dudes. They've wrestled a million times against each other. I think this one, honestly, this match could be the show stealer. Two big dudes who can wrestle, who can do high spots.
Yeah.
Who are like very imposing. The crowd loves Keith Lee. The crowd's behind Dijakovic.
I would love Vince McMahon from the 90s to call this match.
Oh my God.
Two huge men.
Don't be doing no Dick Murdoch stuff on the air.
Oh, Dickie.
So that's the whole card. You know, I think it's going to be fun. It's in Portland.
Should be a good show.
Just
very
weird,
good show.
Weird that it's not on a Saturday.
And it's weird that it's its own thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think they're trying to buffer that out because like what's the next show they have is the Saudi show, right?
WWE?
Yeah.
Saudi show, then Elimination Chamber, then WrestleMania.
My prediction for the Saudi show?
Yeah.
Specifically for one match.
Okay.
Bill Goldberg versus The Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think Hogan interrupts the match. Right?
Yeah.
Possibly costing The Fiend the title. And then you get The Fiend versus Hogan at WrestleMania.
Oh, God.
Listen. I feel like that's going to happen. I don't know why. When I watched that thing on Smackdown yesterday.
You're like, oh, crap.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is weird. Why do they bring Hogan into this?
You're going to feed another monster to Hogan?
And they already announced Hogan to be at the Saudi show.
Hogan is at the Saudi show, and Hogan is at WrestleMania because he's getting inducted.
Right.
They may do something with the NWO killing The Fiend.
Okay.
You know? Maybe
Spooky Fingers him to death?
That's the real kiss of death.
Mm-hmm.
The Spooky Fingers, that's it. That's all Scott Hall needs to do, and it's over for you.
But that's the thing. I feel like those guys are so old school that they'll put him over like big time.
No, of course. They know how it is. But I'm just, it is interesting that Hogan, there's a lot of rumors for Hogan and Sting.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to dive into these rumors?
Yes,
on
please.
What I know? Okay, so I had a very interesting conversation, like I said, with a guy that's a writer for WWE. And some of the stuff I cannot say that he told me, so sorry about that. But I'm gonna see some of this stuff. I don't want to get into suspensions and reasons for suspensions.
There's some stuff you got to tiptoe around.
Seth is not very much liked,
allegedly
by a lot of people back there.
But this is also like
old stuff too.
You have to preface this by saying this person may not be a fan. He's not a fan like us. So the concept of kayfabe
is very different
in these certain situations. May go over this person's head, right?
Yeah. Baron Corbin apparently is like the most loved guy in the company.
Everybody loves that dude.
Everybody loves him. Vince loves Baron Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
He used this expression and he goes, every word of the script is double checked by Vince.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear characters say expressions from the 1950s, like Baron Corbin saying you keep turning up like a bad penny.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Vince McMahon line.
I can 100%. This guy's going old school.
Yeah. Also, the reason why SmackDown has AC/DC as the opener is because Vince picked it, and that's what he listens to when he works out at the gym.
That's his favorite band.
AC/DC.
That's his favorite band.
Is that really his favorite band?
That's his favorite band. I remember an interview with Moxley Ambrose from years ago where he was like, he had an awesome time had private seats, I think at the Garden or in Australia, to see AC/DC with Vince. And it was like Vince, Triple H, because that's his favorite band.
That's so wild, huh?
And that's why, and he at that point, he loved Dean Ambrose. That's why his finisher was called Dirty Deeds.
Interesting. Becky, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, any of the top guys could write their own dialogue. They don't go based on the script.
Excellent.
The mistake and the moment of shift was a suffer and succotash line.
Yeah.
So, interesting enough, this guy wasn't in the company at that time. So, this is a discussion that he's had with somebody, which makes a lot of sense. Roman is one of the nicest guys in the world.
Right.
Which we know that.
Cool.
I'm just going down the line here. I didn't plan on doing this. Okay. Here we go. Kofi, Xavier, and Biggie, nicest guys, easy to work with. Heavy Machinery, Chad Gable, and Mustafa Ali and Baron Corbin, his absolute favorites to work with. I told you, we had this discussion weeks ago. People are like, I don't understand why Baron Corbin's getting a push. Sometimes being a really nice guy gets far, and being a hard worker gets far. You don't have to be the best in what you do. Is Baron Corbin the best character on TV? No, but you know what? Now he's kind of groomed himself into being a decent heel. I don't want to see him with Roman anymore. That's the problem I have with him.
Absolutely. When they signed Baron Corbin, like I want everybody who's listening to look this up, Google it. When WWE signed Baron Corbin hot off his football career, this dude weighed like 400 pounds, right? This guy put the work in to slim down.
From day one.
Had a great run in NXT, got called to the main roster, has been consistent, injury-free, has done everything they wanted to do. And I think he was one of our dudes, like, when we were watching NXT years ago, saying, like, yo, this dude's got, like, this dude's money, you know? And I think it shows, you know, like, if you're nice, like you said, if you're nice to people backstage, you get along with people, you break chops a little bit, you will be beloved.
Yeah.
You know?
It's 100% going to be Roman versus The Fiend at WrestleMania.
Right. Which
so
we,
and again,
we
he said things change. I don't know if I want to do any more spoilers for WrestleMania.
I mean, you know, like some of this stuff is very predictable. Like we called that Roman.
Who do you
Fiend
think John Cena's penciled in for?
Ooh, Sting.
You know what? Let's play that game.
Sting.
I want to play that game with the chat room right now. Who do you think John Cena's penciled in for?
Fake Sting.
Because he's coming up, what, on the 28th?
Yeah.
Not next week, the week after?
The day after the Saudi show.
The day after the Saudi show, yeah.
A
lot of rumors were talking about Daniel Bryan.
Cool.
That hit the internet. I would love to see that. I have not heard anything from anybody within the company that's the match. Unless they're keeping it. Who do you give me your pick? Give me your 3 WrestleMania opponent picks. Now, remember, what I'm reading to you is probably from a month or so ago.
Like a sensible pick.
A sensible pick, yeah.
Big Show?
Big Show will be at WrestleMania because he has a Netflix special, but he's not
wrestling?
penciled in. I don't know. He probably is wrestling, but...
Who? I feel like it would have to be a match to elevate somebody, right?
Okay.
So... I'm not gonna say Aleister Black. I feel like they would just like butt heads, right? Damn, that's a good one.
You are close when you said to elevate somebody.
Yeah. Andrade? No, Humberto Carrillo or Garza.
Big guy.
Big guy. Like physically big?
Physically big guy.
Braun Strowman?
No, it is. And by the way, this has probably changed at this point because I had heard this months ago too. Elias.
All right.
This was an idea months ago. Now,
didn't that happen already?
Also, Vince is not a fan of Elias.
I don't know about
not
that.
a fan of him.
I don't know about that. That dude gets a lot of, he's got a good little career there.
They just like him to do his catchy stuff and go out there and sing. Take us at Mania. There is no information on Sting. Sting is not medically cleared as of 3 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago. I'm sorry. 4 weeks ago. Sting is not cleared.
Okay.
So I find it fascinating that became a big rumor.
This guy?
Nothing about Hulk Hogan.
Brother.
I don't have anything. But if you guys want a little scoop here, and I think this was the most interesting. Sasha Banks is going to appear in season 2 of The Mandalorian. I don't know if that's public or not.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome.
People know that though.
Do they?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
I think somebody in the chat mentioned that.
I hadn't heard it till this guy.
This is how we were saying, like, Disney's gonna buy WWE one day. This is the first step, and then you're gonna see John Cena with a lightsaber.
Let's see.
John Cena's gonna be Wolverine, by the way.
John Cena's Wolverine.
Yeah, John Cena's Wolverine. I think WrestleMania is gonna be super interesting this year. The one thing that we didn't talk about yet is who's gonna face the Undertaker.
I have not seen anything about Sasha returning in the Mandalorian, being in the Mandalorian. But Gina Carano might be. That was a consideration for her to show up at WrestleMania.
Okay,
that's interesting.
Cool. Undertaker.
What if you get Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey in the WWE?
I would love that, but
because you never got that match.
Gina Carano's a little older now.
She's like our age, I think.
No, get out of here. I want to say she's in her 40s, dude.
37, my friend.
Get out of here.
Yeah, she was very young.
How old is Ronda Rousey?
Ronda Rousey?
Ronda Rousey?
I think 35. 34.
On the Wikipedia, it says she's 62. She's 33.
So
she's married to Brian Kendrick?
Who is?
No.
That's really funny if that was true.
Just spreading rumors.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more I cannot go into. Oh, can we talk about the monkey?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Daniel Bryan apparently was pushing to come to the ring with a monkey during his eco-friendly gimmick. I confirmed this with somebody else, too, that we kind of know about this, and they're like, yeah, I think that's true. I think that's hysterical. Now, the big news. It really looks like it's going to be Taker and Styles.
I would love that.
So this match was supposed to happen a couple of years ago. Do you remember that whole thing where he came out and he was like, Undertaker shows up on Smackdown, and then he was looking for, like, they were all standing there, and he ended up going with Shane. That was a very last-minute thing.
This one writes itself. The Phenom versus the Phenomenal one.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Yeah.
You know, you look at AJ Styles, and they're realizing, okay, he's slowing down. How are we going to utilize him?
I want to see Undertaker take that 450.
Oh my God. I want to see Undertaker dive over the top rope.
Oh my God.
Styles.
This is a great matchup because you could have him. You can have Undertaker could basically work like 90s Undertaker,
and just throw him around.
And AJ could flop around for 25 minutes, and it'll be a great match. AJ wins.
Yeah,
AJ wins. I'm calling it. AJ
I can't wait till the wrestling sites pick this up. That I said that because somebody's one of the website people are listening to this, and he goes, "Dude, are you serious about the monkey?"
The Redditors.
And I said, "Yes, that is what I was told." I really want to see that match. I kind of want to see an Undertaker AJ Styles match.
Absolutely.
I don't have a problem with that at all. I think a lot of people have this issue with Undertaker. Like, he should just retire. He's too old. He's taking his... The dude is great.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to do anything.
Doesn't need to do shit. It's all presence.
Nothing.
He could work like the Zombie again, and it would be awesome.
He just needs to... Listen, you got only a couple more of these with Taker.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many? You got Styles, get that out of the way. Daniel Bryan, get that out of the way.
Dream matches.
What else is left?
That's it. Bring him out once a year
who
for
else,
a dream match.
Actually, who else is left?
He had that Waxina match.
But let's count that.
Okay, so let's count that.
You saw that happen.
The Sting match would be the other dream match for some reason.
Yeah, but Sting is not cleared.
Honestly, like maybe in a year or two, Drew McIntyre.
Drew and Taker.
That'd be awesome.
But there's really no other like names left.
Adam Cole, Ricochet, like a couple of NXT guys. Keith Lee versus Undertaker.
I'll say
would be
mainstream,
awesome.
mainstream cross.
Yeah.
Mainstream cross.
Killer Cross.
By the way, we gotta talk about Killer Cross too.
Big E.
Undertaker, Big E. See, you're such a fan though. You're such a
fan.
like I would love to see that. I would love to see Big E and the Undertaker.
I'm a fan.
It just
of wrestling. You just don't want to see Big E versus Undertaker.
I don't want to see Big E versus the Undertaker. I kind of do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of do, right? Dolph Ziggler versus Undertaker. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. Fiend.
Well, we had Bray versus Taker, right?
We have, yeah.
And Fiend versus Taker would be pretty cool. I wish
2 dead guys.
I honestly do wish we got a lengthier Kane versus Fiend thing. I feel like if Kane was in his hate, like
that would have been interesting. Yeah.
Like Devil's favorite demon Kane and Fiend would be awesome.
Seth Rollins, Undertaker.
Nah, doesn't do it for me.
Are you over Seth?
I've been over Seth for quite some time. I've been over Seth since they did the Becky Lynch thing.
It hurt.
It just rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like,
yeah, the Becky stuff. The Becky stuff hurt Becky to me.
Really?
With him, yeah.
Okay.
You know what the problem with the Becky stuff was? A lot of it was surrounding Ronda Rousey. Ton of it was surrounding Ronda Rousey. Randa. And she goes away, and you have no opponents for her. They did not do a good job at building. I think they've done a way better job at building really high caliber women over the last year.
Yes.
Than you have seen now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like they've kind of changed the tone with what they did with Ronda. A lot of it was surrounding Ronda. The reason why there was an old women's pay-per-view, Ronda Rousey.
Right.
Reason why Becky Lynch was in the main event, Ronda Rousey. She was really believable at making this important.
She was the linchpin to that whole thing.
Yeah. Now that she's gone, Ronda really didn't have anybody left because the women are booked so weak.
You mean Becky?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Becky. Other than Charlotte, because she's a monster. She beats everybody.
Right.
Asuka got killed for a while. They hurt Asuka. Bayley's been doing nothing. Actually, that match last night, Bayley and Carmella, that was a really good Carmella match.
Yeah, Bayley's. I like the direction they're going with Bayley. I think Mondays.
That was the other thing I didn't want to mention. I'll tell you off the air about Bayley.
Okay.
I'll tell you now.
Okay.
Let's do this. Let's annoy everybody.
Like a Brock Lesnar.
No. Doesn't care.
Okay. The thing they did on Monday with Shayna, I think, is great because that puts a nice threat onto Becky, but it also puts the tease that she better.
We got to talk about this.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler is the new Freddie Blassie.
Yeah.
File down her teeth.
Biting.
The bite. I thought that was. It came out of nowhere.
Yes.
Like, you want to talk about unexpected. Did you expect Shayna Baszler to bite Becky Lynch in the back of the neck?
No, not at all.
And then have blood smeared all over her face? Like a Dracule?
No, like a Dracule.
Like a vampire?
No.
Is that her gimmick now?
That'd be awesome.
Is she a vampire?
I've said since day one that she should come out as Baroness Corbin.
Baroness Corbin?
Yeah.
What if they just do the Widow's Peak?
Oh, my God. And like a big cape.
Yeah, big cape.
Big collar.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love it. Shayna Baszler.
I want Shayna Baszler to be a vampire.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I like that she's an animal, like she's biting her. I think that I'm excited about that match. I think Shayna takes it. I think the era of Becky is done.
Done?
Yeah.
Well, what if both of them win?
What do you mean?
What if Charlotte loses and Becky loses?
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that might be the story to
Get
tell.
out of here, you old bags. That's what Vince is saying in the back. He's like,
too old.
They're too old, these broads. Get them out of here.
People are asking a lot of questions. Let's save the questions for the end of the show.
Yeah.
So I could kind of go through this. That looks fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
Anything else that stood out to you this week?
No, I need some of the AEW was great, it was a good show. AEW is definitely they're hitting that Attitude Era note
a little bit,
but they're being like a little more safe about it.
What's your problem with AEW?
I don't really have.
I didn't mean that in like an in like a confrontational way. I mean, like, what if you were to pick out some of the issues? What would you pick?
The Dark Order stuff. That's it. That's honestly like the only thing I have like as a fan where I'm just like kind of over is completely the Dark Order stuff. I don't give a shit about it.
Yeah.
I don't care about it. I don't care for their promos. I don't care for their look. I don't care for anything. There's no mystery about it. There's nothing. Unless there's a swerve.
There is something.
The swerve could either be it's been Christopher Daniels the whole time as a fallen angel, or B, it's Matt Hardy, or C, it's Marty.
So they did. So if you watched AEW last week, they kind of told a story that it's Chris Daniels.
Right.
That he's interesting that he's the higher power.
Right.
Because wasn't that the he was thought of being the higher power?
Right.
I don't know how true that is. Who started that Chris Daniels was the higher power?
You did.
Did I?
Nah.
Did I just start that rumor? No, I mean that was a thing, right? People would say that it's possibly Chris Daniels.
That's fan forever.
1999. I don't know if Chris Daniels was on the map of anybody.
Right.
On that level.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in the chat room tell me. I think MG Geek would know. I had heard the higher power was going to be Cyrus.
That's interesting.
That's what I had originally heard.
It would be
and then Ted DiBiase.
It would be ridiculous if the whole thing turned out to be Jericho.
Oh my God.
For Dark Order.
What if it's Vince?
Oh.
What would happen? Let's fantasy book that, right? Dark Order happens, everything. They're beating everybody down. Cape Man shows up and it's Vince.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "It's been me all along." I would do that. If I was Vince, I'd be like, Who cares?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Do you think he's texting Cody like, "Good job, kid"?
I think he is.
Yeah.
I think he definitely is. He likes this. He likes the competition.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would imagine it's probably Matt.
I would love it if it was Matt. And they're bringing him back on Raw to face Randy Orton, apparently.
One off, yeah. So a lot of people freaked out, and they're like, "What happened? I thought this was his write-off. I thought this was his send-off." Dude, the guy's still under contract till the 1st. That segment did phenomenal. The quarter hour for that segment did very good. It was a #1 watch thing on Raw. It felt real, which I liked. So what? You bring him back one more week. It's no problem. It's no big deal. Things change.
What's your problem with AEW?
A couple.
And I mean that in an aggressive way. What's your problem with AEW?
I understand long-term storytelling, right?
Sure.
I get it.
Go ahead.
I think, and I don't know how they could have avoided this, but their top stars are not the top stars.
Okay.
Right? Jericho, obviously, you needed him to be the guy. But a guy like Kenny Omega he shouldn't be this rah-rah babyface right now. He should be having these matches and be taken as a serious competitor. I think they hurt him early on. If you were going to do this tag stuff with him, you should have had him do the tag stuff. If I'm a new viewer, I have no idea who Kenny Omega is.
Tricky waters only because he's an EVP. If he wasn't an EVP,
should it make a difference?
I think it does. I think it makes a huge difference, dude. I think like because these guys are getting booked softly because they have the book.
Yeah, but here's how I see it though. Okay, he was the hottest free agent.
Yes.
In how many years? Right? Since AJ Styles, probably. Hottest free agent.
Yes.
The guy just came off one of the greatest runs ever in Japan.
Absolutely.
One of the greatest stories as far as match quality and elevating the game as far as wrestling goes.
The story of his career in Japan was amazing.
Unbelievable.
Right.
And it's totally organic.
Right.
Totally organic. The guy really likes the culture. He moves there. He becomes this unbelievable star there. From a heel to a face. Natural transition. And then he goes, AEW is technically was built on the backbone of him. Right? That was the concept.
Sure.
That this guy is going to be the star. Offered tremendous money by WWE. I think WWE would have booked him better.
I doubt that.
Compared to what they've done with him.
I don't think so. I disagree with that 100%. I think he would have been booked great for 3 months, and then he would have been in the dog. He would have been getting covered in dog food with Baron Corbin.
No, they were putting a lot of money into him, and I was told a couple of the preliminary ideas didn't look that way at all. Yeah. I think they were very serious about him and what they were going to plan on doing with him. The amount of people he would have been in a program with would have been great. I think the problem with him is that he doesn't have an ego. And in wrestling, you kind of do need it. And he doesn't really give a shit if he's booked as the top guy every single week. Jericho, on the other hand, is a guy that gives a shit about his character. Old school. And he needs to be projected in a way that's in his vision line.
Yeah.
I would hope that after the Jericho title run, they realize, okay, it's time. It's time to do something with Kenny.
Do you think Mox is taking it?
I don't know. I don't know if that's... How long do you want the Jericho run to go?
Because Mox is their top babyface right now.
Mox is their top babyface.
Underneath Mox, honestly, it's Cody.
Underneath Mox is Cody, then Kenny?
Maybe Goldust.
But see, that says a lot, right? Doesn't it?
Mox, Cody, Bucks, Kenny.
Mox, Cody, Bucks, Kenny.
Actually, you know what? Before the Bucks, Hangman.
Hangman is a total babyface
Hangman
right now. And they cannot ruin this guy by turning him right now.
Hangman gets the pop.
I know the story is him and Kenny, but oh man.
I think at this point it's him and alcoholism. Because that's what they keep just like because he had the on Being the Elite this week. Last week he had the pitcher. He was just drinking from the pitcher. I think they have big plans for Hangman. Clearly, the Kenny Pac match is gonna be ridiculous. I think that's gonna be like a barn burner.
Did I miss something? Because everybody's talking about the static tease on SmackDown.
I think it was like an NWO thing.
Where?
During like commercial breaks, because they did that a couple of weeks ago. Remember? Like, people thought it was like not a couple, maybe like a month ago.
Somebody have this? I don't know. I didn't see this. I missed it. Somebody send me this link. I don't know. I feel like they need to kind of elevate these guys. It's time. You got to look at it as not a wrestling fan. You got to look at it as someone new to all of this. And they're trying to get the casual fan. They're doing phenomenal with the casual fan. Yeah. Their ratings are based on the casual viewer. You have Kenny Omega there. What are you doing with him? Where do you put him?
I think within the next year he's going to be elevated to that main event status.
Yeah, you know what? Just discussing it in my head. The reason why they're probably not doing it is because they don't have anybody for him to work programs with. They can't shoot themselves in the foot. They got Pac, okay,
and Mox.
They did the Mox thing.
Yeah,
that went away.
They can revisit it.
They did that a little too early. The Mox thing, in my opinion.
But they had to.
They had to. I sent you a DM, says Anthony. I'm gonna see this.
A dick message.
A dick message, yeah. So I don't know. I find it. Kenny's been disappointing to me.
Okay, interesting. You mean he's been booked poorly?
Yes.
Okay, because his in-ring work is ridiculous, and there's a reason why this dude is.
Oh yeah, they did the static thing. What the hell is
Let's
this?
see.
It's not NWO. It's like actual static. Dude, maybe it was your TV.
It's just your cable provider.
That's a cable provider being crappy.
What do you got? Time Warner Cable?
They did it during Elias, and what was the other match? That's weird.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you want to do questions now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, submit your questions in the chat. We'll do our best to answer them.
I want to start with my own question.
Go.
For you. I thought about this morning. So.
Boxes or briefs?
I know the answer to that, and it's nothing.
Nothing.
So now that every company has pretty much signed every major talent on the indies, who's left?
Available?
Yeah. I mean, like, who would be the big get? Because Jeffrey and Cobberton.
Oh, for AEW.
For anybody.
Oh, for anybody.
Like NXT just signed The Rock's daughter, Simone The Rock Johnson. Like the AEW just signed whatever.
I think Nick Aldis is a big get. Are you counting him being with
No.
NWA?
No, I'm saying like indies, like old school indies. Because like the NWA's, I wouldn't call that an indie.
I don't know who's available right now. I think everybody's signed somewhere.
Right. It's who's like the big hot star in the indies, because this is the problem with signing every single person to a lucrative deal, because wrestling is hot right now, is that you're gonna have to wait a couple of years for the indies to build up again, right?
Yeah, so exactly. There's so many different avenues you could go. Like, give an example. Impact, they're doing phenomenal. Do you know that in South Africa, they got 1.5 million viewers?
Wow.
For Impact.
Interesting.
Impact does really well because they were able to secure a lot of deals on emerging market TV because they're not that expensive. So I know they do very well in the UK also on Fight Network.
They do, yeah.
Capital Wrestling does phenomenal. We got anywhere from 36,000 viewers for Capital Wrestling, which beats WWE, which is hysterical. That WWE Smackdown, when was it? A year ago? They had like 6,000 live viewers, and Capital Wrestling was the number one show in the UK, number one wrestling show in the UK, which is crazy to think about.
Right.
It's very different around there. I don't know, as far as independent wrestling goes, who's available right now. There's not a lot of people available because they're all affiliated with somebody, either NWA, Ring of Honor, AEW, New Japan, Evolve.
Right.
They're all somewhere. So I don't know. I have to kind of. That's a great question.
Right? Like
20, give me like 10 independent wrestlers that are going to be big stars.
That who haven't been gutted by like AEW.
The indies have gotten gutted.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. That is a big difference over the last, like 2016 to me was probably the peak of the indies.
2016 to 2018, let's say.
Yeah, they had like that was a golden moment for the independent wrestling, because you could go to any independent show and take a look. You know what? GCW, they're a good representation of independent wrestling and who's available.
Yeah.
Who's available in GCW right now?
I think your big indie guy that people are in love with, Nick Cage.
Nick Cage would be one. Brian Cage, but he's not independent.
Right.
I'm just looking at GCW and who they have on their next card, because they're a good idea of independent wrestling. I mean, there's a lot of these. There's a lot of these guys that I just don't know right now. Dickerson is another one.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get signed somewhere. There's some of these guys everywhere, but let's see, sales GCW. I'm on the merch store. Forget it. I don't know.
Too
I'll
much.
find it. Too much.
Too much website.
Yeah, too much website.
All
right. Run down the questions, Rich.
All right, baby. Let's go back up. I'm going to go back up a little bit. Going back up.
Remember, submit your questions in the chat.
Daniel Bryan WrestleMania plans.
I have not heard a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I asked this guy any plans for Daniel Bryan, he said nothing. He didn't know of any plans for Daniel Bryan, and he's on that side. So that says something.
Yeah.
I don't know why they've done this so poorly with him. Who's he feuding with?
I'm thinking, and I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I think they're going to do another IC ladder match deal.
Dump everybody in.
Just throw a bunch of dudes in there.
That may be a possibility. I don't know. I've heard nothing about it. They really cooled off on him.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They did a lot of those tag matches with him. What was his 2019 like?
2019, he walked into WrestleMania as champion. Remember?
He did,
and then
then he disappeared.
Right, and then
he didn't do any. He didn't do any singles.
Yeah. Who inducts the NWO into the Hall of Fame?
Bischoff.
Maybe Big Show.
Maybe Big Show. I would do Bischoff.
Yeah, he was so close to him being fired.
He's on great terms.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great terms.
Let's see what we got here. DMs. Kenny Omega versus Enchante.
Love that.
Kirk or Picard.
Picard. Always.
When will fans turn on Drew?
Why would they turn on him?
Just because it's too much. Fans always like decide.
But like, you see how bad that is?
Yeah.
The mentality of when are they going to turn on him?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they turn on him? Why should they?
It's gonna get shoved down
because he's a babyface,
mm-hmm.
and that's WWE shoving a babyface down your throat. This is how wrestling is.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta. Why? I don't see why a fan would turn on him.
I got a question for you.
Yeah,
another one.
Yeah.
If you fast forwarded Hulkamania to now, would it survive, or would it be the same attitude of like? Where he can't work, when are fans going to turn on Hogan?
It would be considered nationalism, and there would be a piece on CNN about how it's promoting white nationalism.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's pretty much what would happen.
So like Hulkamania would never take off now, is what you're saying?
Hulkamania would done in the way that it was done.
Done in the way that it was done.
Just take a bunch of foreigners and have them beat them.
Fast forward it to.
I think it would work. I think because of Hogan, he would work 130%.
But he was
same promo, same everything.
He was over with the crowd for what, like a decade?
From 1984 to 1991, I would say he was the hottest thing ever. 92 started cooling off a little bit.
Right.
But again, a lot of this is revisionist history where if you listen to a lot of the pundits and they're like, oh, he was getting booed out of buildings. I was in buildings.
Right.
In 91, 92. The building would explode.
Yeah.
He was the #1 guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so this dude was on top with the biggest pop in wrestling for like close to 10 years, right? Do you think that, like, if that happened now, do you think it would last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or just like 6 months and it's done because people will get tired of it?
I think it would be, if done the same exact way, it would get over exactly the way.
And again, keep in mind too, like people have complained about Roman and all this stuff because he's everywhere. Yo, Hogan you couldn't turn on the TV without seeing Hogan. You couldn't go to a toy store without seeing Hogan.
It's a lot of don't tell me what to do mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I hate you, Dad. Don't tell me to clean up.
I hate you, Papa Hogan.
All right, what else? We got a bunch in here.
Yeah, we do. Is everyone assuming Harper is going to AEW or NJPW? I think AEW is a done deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he's worked with all those dudes, and he seems like a really nice guy, too.
Yeah, they all like him. And Cody loves him.
Let's see. Pick a destination for each of the following. Harper, Matt Hardy, and The Revival.
All AEW?
All AEW. I wouldn't mind seeing Harper or Revival in New Japan.
I could see Revival in New Japan.
Like I wouldn't mind seeing
what names did they pick?
The Resurgence?
No, they picked the name. You remember they trademarked the name.
The Touch Kidders?
The Touch Kidders.
Good joke. I would like to see them take on like God, right? Show and Yo.
Yeah, I would love that.
You know?
I would love that.
Best friends. Let's see what else we got here. Does Edge win the WWE title this year? No.
Who?
Edge.
Does Edge win the WWE title? I think he will challenge for the title.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible. Possible you give the Universal title, WWE title to him.
I think we're done with the questions.
Killer Cross. No, I think there's a couple more here.
You think tomorrow? Tomorrow he comes
A
out?
lot of people are asking about Killer Cross. I mean, it's actually fascinating to me, and I'm a little surprised by how many people want him to show up. I'm going to be honest here, and this takes nothing away from the guy.
Sure.
Most people have no idea who Killer Cross is.
Agreed. If you're not a wrestling fan.
If you're not a wrestling fan. This is like saying, like, oh, man, Kushida signed? Nobody knows who he is unless you're like a real wrestling fan.
That's true.
And Kushida's great.
Yeah.
Shatter Machine. That's the name. Love the name.
That's pretty good.
It's a good New Japan name, too, right? The Shatter Machine. Love it.
It'll hit that high note.
Yeah.
Shatter Machine.
Good New Japan name. Nobody knows who he is.
Right.
And I don't think they're going to call him Killer Cross.
No, they're going to call him Cross.
They're going to probably call him Cross.
Cuddle Cross.
Or maybe something else.
Uh-huh.
Somebody wrote, first of all, Killer Cross is a terrible name. Somebody wrote, this is the first time I've ever welcomed a WWE name change.
Okay.
For a wrestler.
Sure.
And I was thinking about that. And I'm like, you know what? Me too. Kind of feel the same way. I hope, listen, dude, I hope the guy has a great run. He's a very good athlete. He's a good wrestler. He's a good guy to have there. I don't know if he fits the mold. I hope he does, and I hope he has a great career over there. But a lot of people are waiting for Killer Cross.
Yeah.
What are those Jay White rumors? What was the I don't know.
I don't know what the Jay White rumors are.
All the teasing from Matt are gonna lead to him re-signing. Not resigning. We wanted to see before. I think he's gonna leave. I think the guy, first of all, he has a lot of money. He was smart with his money. He saved his money, and he wants to do something fun. He loves the wrestling business. I think he would leave.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he would leave. They did nothing with him. So, what if Goldberg wins the title and faces Reigns and the Fiend attacks Cena? That's a possibility. Sure. But I don't. I would. To be honest, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought Goldberg's run when he won that Universal title was such a tremendous run. I thought it was done so well.
It was done. They very protected him.
Very protective. It made you forget that this was the guy that they put a blonde wig on.
Does Goldberg go over Bray? That's the thing I'm afraid of.
I don't know how they do it.
Hogan.
You know what I mean? Like Hogan. I don't know how they do this match.
Hogan cost Bray Wyatt the title.
What if Hogan cost Goldberg the title?
Oh, brother!
And this is Goldberg. This is Hogan's revenge.
Turn into the dark side.
No, this is Hogan comes in and NWO style and beats Goldberg.
Oh, that's great.
Oh man, Bill Goldberg versus Hulk Hogan
at WrestleMania
in 2020.
No, sir.
20 years after 22 years after their match.
No, the soup is cold. Take it back.
Oh, soup is really cold, man.
I really don't mind if Hogan cost the Fiend the title, and then you see Goldberg show up at WrestleMania and then wrestle the Fiend again and loses. But like at what point? At what point does he have any control, or is he just like a fall guy at this point? Goldberg. Because when they brought him in 2 years ago,
he has a lot of control. He turns stuff down all the time.
Is he gonna put this guy over? He should.
I think he just wants to erase a lot of the bad that's happened with Bill Goldberg.
Well, also think about it this way: Brock Lesnar doesn't really have a lot of time left, right? A couple of years wrestling.
42.
Yeah. Right.
He could go on for another. The way that this guy's, he could go on for another 5 years.
True. I think with the Fiend, they're building up that next monster. And what better way to build him up more than feed him Goldberg?
Yeah, listen,
right?
they are trying to create a monster. They're trying to create a really a great monster, but I don't know if he's the guy. I mean, listen, I like the Fiend gimmick, and he's a very old school gimmick.
Absolutely.
All character. The matches don't do anything. Think of every Undertaker match early in his career.
90s Undertaker matches.
Pre 96, 97.
Yeah.
Right?
Pre-Attitude Era Undertaker matches.
Even before. I think 96 he started having some really good matches.
Okay.
The Mankind feud, the early Mankind feud. 96.
Yoko, Shawn, Mankind. That's when
Okay, he's starting to sell. Yeah,
this stuff is
Brett
as a yes.
Oh man, those Brett matches very underrated. Nobody talks about Bret Hart Undertaker.
Yeah.
They're trying to book him as old school Undertaker, which is needed to create a monster. But whoever beats him has to be important. Same thing with Brock Lesnar.
Yes,
they're kingmakers. That's the purpose of a heel holding a title.
Yeah.
You're this and you're that, and then somebody comes and beats you, and now he's the guy.
That's like the perception.
Is it Bill Goldberg? No. Roman beating Bill Goldberg. Beeling. They're gonna boo Roman.
Right.
They're not gonna boo Bill Goldberg.
Do you think Goldberg gets like the biggest pop of his life at Saudi Arabia?
It's quite possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite possible.
I think Ricochet is gonna get the biggest pop of the night.
No, you know who's getting it.
This guy?
No.
Who?
Come on.
Randy?
No, keep going. You're gonna miss it.
Oh,
Mansoor.
Mansoor. Well, they have. That's the other thing I wanted to mention today. I don't know what it was called, but they have like I think it's like a battle royal for like a Saudi trophy.
Another Saudi trophy.
And I think Mansoor's definitely gonna win that.
He always would. Come on, just book Mansoor like Hogan in the Saudi Arabia.
I love the fact that this dude is just so over.
In Saudi Arabia. Yeah. A lot of questions came in while we did this. Matt Hardy teasing leaving. A lot of it is, man, is he going to stay? I don't know. It looks like I think he's going to leave.
If CM Punk returns, who's his opponent?
So I asked about CM Punk returning, and the guy wrote immediately, they are so thirsty for CM Punk to come back.
I can imagine.
But he is not coming back. And this is what made me think he's not really a wrestling fan. He goes, and he would never go to AEW. There's nobody. It's a bunch of nobodies there. That's what he said to me. I'm like, oh man, this guy is really a WWE guy.
What if Killer Kross is next in line for the NXT title Mania weekend? No.
I don't think he will be.
Definitely not.
I don't think anybody, that would be a big mistake. You got to build him. CM Punk, who would be his WrestleMania opponent? Daniel Bryan.
That would be good. That would be good. Undertaker, CM Punk Part 2. Triple threat, Undertaker, CM Punk, AJ Styles. That'd be amazing. Aleister Black, CM Punk, Battle of the Tattoos. That'd be fantastic. CM Punk, Big E. That'd be amazing.
Is Sasha going to miss WrestleMania? I don't know. I haven't heard much about Sasha right now.
Sasha Burns.
What's the Saudi show matches? WWE Super Showdown, right?
There's a couple matches. We have 9 more years of this.
Well, oh my God, we do.
Super Showdown.
Is it Super Showdown 2020?
Yeah, it's Super Showdown in Riyadh. That poster is like poster looks like a shitty horror movie from 2006.
Oh, produced by WWE Films.
Oh, it's Goldberg. It's a jacked young Goldberg with the Fiend behind him.
Just his mask.
Let's see. Yeah. We got 6 matches. Okay. Right. New Day versus Miz and John Morrison. Who cares? Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet. It's gonna be fun.
Okay. Wait a minute. New Day versus Miz. There's something to this match.
You think so?
Yeah, there is something to this match. I will say, I very much, from what I know, I think you should keep your eye on this match.
Okay. Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet.
This match is going to be weird.
Yes.
But Brock Lesnar is going to make him look good. Make Ricochet look good.
Roman Reigns versus King Corbin.
Again.
Steel cage match. Who cares?
Okay, I don't care.
The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Goldberg. We just spent 20 minutes talking about that. Okay. Gauntlet match for the 2-week trophy.
What is a 2-weeka?
2-week.
It's a narrow cut in Central Africa, Central Arabia.
Okay.
I don't even know what this is.
It's a geographical location. AJ Styles versus Andrade versus Bobby Lashley versus Eric Rowan versus R-Truth versus Rusev. I do think Mansoor's showing up.
Mansoor's showing up and just winning the whole thing.
Mansoor's winning this one.
Yeah.
Bayley versus Carmella and or Naomi.
And a uncovered head-to-toe match.
Yeah. Singles match for the Women's Championship. Bayley retains.
Okay. Maybe Naomi wins.
Have you eaten your shirt yet? No.
Have I eaten my shirt yet? No, because you guys have not found me that clip.
Cole versus Punk would be cool.
Adam Cole?
Mm-hmm. Michael Cole.
Michael Cole's son?
And his son, Adam.
And Kevin Dunn's son, Pete Dunne. They should have a tag team called the Sons.
Mm-hmm. The
real Forgotten Sons.
Instead of the Forgotten Sons, it's like the Remembered
Sons.
Sons.
Yeah. Have Punk win the NXT title. Punk would never do because he thinks it's below him.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, he knows his worth.
Yeah, this guy knows.
Like, him versus Roman at Mania or nothing.
Do we do a what if or we wrap it up? What do you
think we're done.
We're done? Okay. Let's wrap it up for today.
Wrap it up.
Guys, go to the website, gfqnetwork.com. Subscribe to the podcast. We're on our way to 5,000 subscribers here on the YouTube page. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. It helps us out every time you guys do it. We got a bunch of people here. Subscribe. Helps us out and doesn't hurt you. Patreon.com/MattMenPodcast. Fund us there if you enjoy the show. I may do a watch along tomorrow. Is Jeff Cobb's not signed? Jeff Cobb is on a show-by-show basis right now.
Mm-hmm.
Last question I answered.
Jefferton Cobberton.
For all things Rich, BTC Rich on Twitter. Andrew Zarian on Twitter. Mattmen Podcast on Twitter. Mattmen Podcast on Instagram. Mattmen Podcast on YouTube. The Facebook group, Mattmen Podcast. Search for it, and we'll see you all next time.
Later.
Take care.
Ooh, 75 minutes.
All right. See you guys later.